long-lasting admiration for the high professional quality of the Turkish diplomatic corps. I've served 3 times as an ambassador of my country, and in each capital my Turkish colleagues were one of the best prepared diplomats, skillful diplomats, and with a distinguished human touch as well. So let me just tell you that due to the warm friendship of my Turkish counterpart and dear friend Ahmet Davutoğlu, I feel at home. So thank you for inviting me. I wish to praise you for the excellent initiative of organizing this meeting here in Edirne, a former capital city for almost 100 years and site of some beautiful monuments and works of art such as the Selimiye Mosque, which is World Heritage right now. The year almost drawing to a close, we are able to congratulate ourselves on at least 2 hallmarks of excellence in the relations between Romania and the Republic of Turkey. First, as you reminded us, this recent signature by President Băsescu and Gül of our bilateral strategic partnership, a symbolic and substantial achievement that opens the way for an even closer cooperation to the benefit of our 2 nations. Second, I must recall Minister Davutoğlu's visit to Bucharest in early September, honoring the annual reunion of the Romanian diplomacy. I warmly remember, Minister, your compelling and insightful speech on that occasion, outlining a whole range of matters of interest to us as the chief principles enshrined in the new Turkish foreign policy. And may I also emphasize how much your projection as a distinguished academic and diplomat of the strategic depth model in Turkish policy is clearly driven by a vision of peace, by a balanced and wise approach. In these times of global confusion and economic downturn, allow me to praise your strong and courageous stance as a negotiator and a successful mediator on various occasions, supporting peaceful and constructive solutions to the regional and global benefit. Today, Turkey is not only a political strategic partner for Romania, but also our 5th economic partner, and the first outside the EU and within the Black Sea Economic Cooperation. We are cooperating in key fields such as energy, transportation, tourism, and culture. Romania is and shall remain a staunch supporter of Turkey's accession to the EU. Moreover, we are convinced that Turkey's place cannot be but within the EU as a solid bridge between continents and cultures. The present times challenge quite a number of established perceptions about Europe and our neighborhood. Inside the Union, the effects of the financial crisis are putting European cohesion at a harsh test. Social and even political costs of the crisis are indeed already trying to strengthen some of our commitments. Right next to us, we have been witnessing the 2nd biggest geostrategic development since the fall of communism 2 decades ago. The countries and societies of Northern Africa and the Middle East are in deep turmoil, authoritarian regimes are stumbling and dictators are falling down. Innocent protesters have staked their lives in the name of human dignity. New political figures arise and proclaim their commitment to freedom. In this context, Europe is called to accommodate fresh challenges on its internal and external agendas, and to find long-term answers to cope with a new political environment. This is a historical opportunity to untangle the web of mistrust and misperceptions between Europe and its neighborhood, which for too long has obstructed the development of mutually beneficial policies. This is a double challenge. On the one hand, we have to preserve and deepen the European identity, On the other hand, we need to transform and to move Europe forward towards a role as a hub of social, cultural, and political diversity. True on its own status and experience, Romania has always been a keen promoter of the European neighborhood policy as an EU border country, intimately connected with the Balkans, the Black Sea areas, and the Levant. Both Romania and Turkey are part of this nexus of the three proximities. Allow me to reflect these challenges through the perceptions of the three neighborhoods our countries are connected with. Dear Minister Davutoğlu, ladies and gentlemen, today Southeastern Europe enjoys a certain political stability, although there are still quite a lot of challenges to deal with. In this region, the EU perspective must be maintained, with accession as the ultimate objective, based on each country's own merits. It has been our principal choice to refuse a too rigid distinction between those elected to become EU members and those on the outside. Romania has been and remains a stronger supporter of EU's open door policy and will continue to advocate for the advancement of the enlargement process. At the same time, we agree that the continuation of EU's present dynamism requires finding the right balance adapted to evolving circumstances between a deepened integration and further enlargement. The international economic crisis seems to amplify the reluctance of some EU member states with respect to the enlargement process, as demonstrated by the recent European Council in Brussels. Although Romania has hoped for a positive conclusion on granting candidate status to Serbia and starting negotiations with Montenegro, this was not possible. As a result, the historic decisions regarding the two countries were postponed, hopefully for next year. We are very interested in a pragmatic relationship with Serbia, which should allow an increase of concrete and visible results, helped by EU funds. Important joint projects could be developed, especially in infrastructure, to the benefit of the entire region. For instance, there is no highway between Belgrade and Timișoara, and we need such a connection. At the same time, we believe Serbian authorities must coherently implement the existing legislation as a part of the Copenhagen political criteria for accession. For example, there is ample room for improving the situation of the Romanian minority living in this country. The signatures of Croatia's accession treaty marks an important moment both for Zagreb and Brussels, conveying a strong signal as to the EU's commitment to the integration of Western Balkans. It confirms the European perspective of this region as a reality. I would also mention our support for opening the negotiation talks with the former Yugoslavic Republic of Macedonia, once a solution for the constitutional name issue is identified. Even if with the present situation in Greece, I don't think that solution will come very soon. At the same time, we endorse a similar path for Albania and Bosnia and Herzegovina. At the EU level, we have called for an enforced presence in Sarajevo, enabling us to consolidate Bosnia and Herzegovina as a single state within an EU renewed strategy for this country, along specific benchmarks and with clear objectives. The other decisions of the Winter European Council reaffirm the importance of a coherent implementation of the renewed policy consensus on enlargement. A positive signal was sent to Ankara by giving the green light to the launching of the agenda of priorities proposed by the European Commission in relation with Turkey. We hope this initiative will give a fresh impetus to Turkey's EU accession process. At a larger regional level, the Southeast European cooperation process remains the main forum for political consultation and dialogue. We are persuaded it should have a stronger profile in Brussels and hope Turkey will encourage this approach. Despite the existence of an executive pillar of the CECP, it seems that the Regional Cooperation Council prefers an increased involvement in the CECP political agenda. We are not satisfied with the lack of concrete results of RCC, and we consider that a more efficient management of this cooperation should be encouraged. Dear friends, moving now our focus on the Eastern neighborhood, three major priorities have guided Romania's efforts in the past years. First and foremost, to foster the European path of the Republic of Moldova. Second, to encourage regional cooperation so as to reduce the risk of instability and conflict in this area and enable it to draw closer to the EU. Third, to develop mutually beneficial partnerships in order to increase the security and cooperation on our continent, energy security being a prime example. Transforming the Black Sea region into an area of stability, prosperity and security is part of the same picture and an enduring priority for both Romania and Turkey. During the Romanian chairmanship of the BSEC, Black Sea Economic Cooperation, in the first semester of this year, we promoted three objectives. First, the advancement of the economic regional agenda, especially for facilitating the intra-regional trade. Second, promoting the need to upgrade energy infrastructures and interconnections, including the priority axis, the maritime highways and the Black Sea Ring. You are the champions in this respect. We are still at work for the Black Sea Ring, but it is objectively very much needed. And third, extending the EU strategy for the Danube region towards the Black Sea to further ease access to the European markets. We count on the valuable support that Turkish business communities bring to the Danube cooperation. Moreover, we consider that an ever closer interaction of our diplomacies can help us boost the scope of our joint opportunities between the Danube Basin and the Black Sea neighborhood. Over the last decade, the Black Sea area has emerged from a region between regions with a confusing security agenda to an area of opportunities. These are the accomplishments we have fulfilled through regional security formats of cooperation in the Southeastern Europe and the Western Balkans over this decade should further stimulate a similar positive approach in the enlarged Black Sea area. I have no intention of elaborating on the geopolitical situation. I prefer to stay here. But dear Ahmed, as we are among professionals of diplomacy, I wouldn't continue to say some commonplaces about our region. We all know its challenges, well, the main priorities we have to commit ourselves to. So in this context of an upgraded bilateral relation between Romania and Turkey, I would prefer to have a direct dialogue with the distinguished ambassadors, heads of missions here, and maybe to add some clarity to this speech. But the idea is that we would like to encourage regional integration, regional stability, with a special focus on feasible energy security, major, iconic projects. We would like to increase our cooperation as NATO members and to reach, on a short term, the 10 billion target in our bilateral trade. We have $6 billion trade right now, but there is clearly much more room to diversify our trade connections, to host more Turkish investments in the emerging and quite dynamic Romanian market, and to encourage much more Romanian companies to take advantage of your transparent and fresh legislation and with all the incentives you have given to foreign investors. So this is the larger picture, the framework we are working within, and thanking you once again for the opportunity of ending this year by friendly dialogue between us. I would like to have your comments and to open the floor.